Hi everyone, and welcome to DFTV Network, and I'm your host Tamika Mosley, and welcome to my show Everything Health with Tamika. And I'd like to welcome my guest back, Mike.
How's it going?
It's going great.
I went home and did some push-ups. I feel so healthy from last week,
Well, I'm glad that you made it back.
And, I actually look forward to the show because I'm learning so much.
Yes.
I know behind the scene, y'all don't know behind the scene, I was asking about dehydration today. And I'm one of those guys that don't drink a lot of water. And I was like, I didn't know dehydration. I have joint injury, and she did the mama thing, so I felt like I was on punishment or something.
Very dangerous. He should be drinking at least 2 liters of water per day.
And I drink maybe 2.5 glasses a month. So we're back in some more good education about the sickle cell, huh?
Yes, so we're going to pick up where we left off last week, and we talked about sickle cell, and we left off, we're going to be talking now about Western medication versus plant medication, and different foods that we need to eat as people with sickle cell disease need to eat certain foods to help the body be very nutritious and not to go into a crisis. So what we're going to do though, Mike, we're going to show just a quick video so the people out there can see what a true crisis look like, what the body looks like when it's going into a crisis.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to show that quick video and we'll be right back.
People with sickle cell disease, their red blood cells become deformed, turning sickle-shaped. The bone marrow tries to make more red cells to make up for the loss, but can't keep up, causing anemia. Their new shape keeps them from moving properly through the body, and the misshapen cells can jam up and stick to the walls of the blood vessels. These clumps cut off oxygen to healthy tissue, delaying a child's normal growth and causing fatigue and extreme pain.
Okay, so we see the video now, and we see how the cells actually flows through the body, and we see how they can get stuck in the vessels. So a person with sickle cell disease...
It's almost like a drain pipe, huh?
Yeah, it is. And
wow.
With sickle cell, the blood cells dies off every 10 to 20 days.
Wow.
So it makes their body hard to keep producing and keep pumping to make new red blood cells. See, for you, your blood cells lives 120 days. So your body has plenty of time to make new red blood cells. But with them dying off every 10 to 20 days, that's not a lot of time at all.
Wow.
So the body keeps fighting and fighting. The cells become the sickle shape and they get stuck. So when they get stuck, that's where the chronic pain, organ damage, death, and strokes, that's when all that can happen.
Wow. Wow. That's deep.
Yes.
I know prior to you sending that video, it never even crossed my mind. And then but when you do think about it, that could be exceptionally painful.
Oh,
it's kind of like when you get a, what's it called, a Charlie horse or a cramp because of blood flow. Yeah. I'm quite sure that's magnified, huh?
Exactly.
Wow.
Definitely.
Wow.
And you know what's interesting about sickle cell? It's been around for over 100 years, and there is no specific drug for sickle cell.
That's amazing. And I guess, of course, it begs the question, why? But then, of course, it's a business.
Right. Yeah, so the one drug that they have for it is hydroxyurea, which is a cancer drug. And we are going to be talking about Western medication versus plant medication. But they take a cancer medication and give it to someone with sickle cell because it can do one thing, and that is raise the fetal hemoglobin. Because in sickle cell, you want your hemoglobin to be raised. But to take a cancer drug that is just such horrible side effects, and give to these babies and these kids and these people to take instead of just creating a drug for sickle cell. So getting into Western medication versus plant medication, it was meant for our bodies to produce real food, to produce natural things. It wasn't meant for our bodies to produce synthetic things like drugs and even food like chemicals and preservatives and white sugar, white flour, white bread, fried foods, artificial sweeteners, sodas. All these things are really bad and horrible to our health, and we're eating these foods and it's getting into our bloodstreams, causing chronic diseases and illnesses, and we're not realizing that it's coming from all these processed foods.
You think about everything that you name is something that's in most people's daily diet, multiple times throughout the day.
Exactly.
And then we want to know, quite frequently, say, well, the children nowadays are different when we came up. Well, if you're part of that 60s, 70s, maybe even the 80s generation, you're right.
Right, exactly.
Wow.
So some of the foods that people with sickle cell disease should really focus on eating, and not just sickle cell, but I mean everybody. And you know, we all need to be eating the same plant-based foods. You know, it's very interesting how God has already told us that He's given us every seed-bearing plant on the face of the earth, and it's ours for food. And that was Genesis 1:29, and Revelations 22:2. He said that the herbs are for the healing of the nation, and Ezekiel 47:12. He said the leaves are our medicine. So I never felt that I had to give my child hydroxyurea because, first of all, I'm not going to give my child a cancer medication, especially long term, because that has some really, really bad side effects.
Right.
When I saw it could be fatal, that was it for me. I didn't want to give it to him. So just educating myself on natural plants, natural foods, and the herbs, I started letting my child know that, hey, we're going to go this natural route, and we're going to start eating healthy foods. So those foods contains leafy green vegetables, fruit, nuts, but unsalted and raw, non-GMO grains, coconut water, spring water, alkaline. So we want to focus on eating lean proteins like organic chicken, organic turkey, wild caught fish. So things of that nature. So, you know, it's always a challenge though, because we spend our whole lives eating a lot of processed, and I'm guilty of that as well, because I grew up eating a lot of processed. But the whole focus is to turn back around and get back on this health kick and just start eating real food so we can be healthier.
Wow, that's I mean, you think about our diet is so important, but we're about to take another quick break, and I was so off into it, I just have to empty my mind here for a second. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I want to learn more about these healthy foods. What are they, and how many of these healthy foods do you eat in your diet daily? We're about to take a quick break. I'm Mike, live with my doctor over here on
Everything Health with Tamika.
We'll be right back. Have you ever had a question related to child support, divorce, CPS? Call the Attorney General or maybe an attorney and they just gave you a runaround? Where do you go to get help? Contact Dads Fathers of Texas. Yes, they are child support specialists. Dads Fathers of Texas can answer your question, help file paperwork, and help find a family law attorney. Dads Fathers of Texas, making child support simple.
Welcome back to Everything Health with Tamika. And Mike, we are about to talk about some of these great leafy green vegetables that we can start
conversation,
eating.
Food, you know. See what we should do next time. We should bring some here so I can sample them, you know.
Exactly. So do you like leafy green vegetables?
Actually, I do. I'm a big spinach eater.
Okay.
I enjoy my broccolis, romaine lettuce.
Yeah.
So those are my...
As long as you didn't say iceberg.
I cannot even eat it if I wanted to.
There's no nutritional value.
And I actually eat my green beans, the snap green, as you go to call them snap green peas.
Exactly.
So those are my green veggies of choice.
Yeah.
Lately I've been eating several zucchini.
Okay.
Green zucchini as well as the yellow.
Yeah.
So
That's
overall
good.
I kind of have a decent diet. It's just the drinking part I haven't got down yet.
Yeah, so, you know, and basically there's so many different leafy green vegetables that are out there. I know we go from broccoli, kale, spinach, asparagus.
I don't do kale, but I have ate it.
Yeah.
But I heard kale is one of the very healthy.
It is very super green food. Yeah, all these leafy green vegetables, you know, you just got to kind of pick the ones that you really like. Cabbage, greens.
So with someone with sickle cell, is there a certain like servings per day or just a normal diet that includes it?
I would always say every time you try to eat a meal, try to eat something leafy green and try to eat some fruit. Like for breakfast sometimes I just saute some kale, bell peppers, I may have a half avocado and a side of fruit, and that'll be my breakfast. So, but yeah, I would always say, and then I know it's an adjustment for a lot of people, and I say if it's that hard to eat it, well then get you a juicer and then just juice, you know, once a day, start off once a day juicing. And then you can probably go up to twice a day. And I always say juice 85% leafy green and then 25% fruit. Because you always want to do more leafy green vegetables than fruit. Because although fruit is very healthy, but you don't want to overdo it on the fruit because of the sugar.
Sugar, right? I know because sometimes when I'm doing it, I do the dark berries or the dark strawberries.
Yes.
But I know way back then, they used to, when after I had my surgery, they had the kale, the beets, which you know, don't those out, and then that's when I started eating a lot more spinach, and that's when I learned the nutrition way back then.
Yes.
And since then, it's almost like a habit now.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
I had to do it.
Yeah, your body become adjusted to it. Your body, once you stop with the white sugars, which is everybody's devil, I believe. Everybody loves white sugar, but if people can start eliminating that, and in place of white sugar, do coconut sugar or stevia or maple syrup or blackstrap molasses, honey, raw honey. Yep, exactly. So we just need to start modifying our foods better. I know I made a salad one time with superfoods, and it was kale, spinach, beets, bell pepper, radish. I had pumpkin seeds and cranberries. It was a lot of great superfoods in there. I made my own dressing out of vinegar and honey and things of that nature. So it was very
vinegar and honey. You know, I got to try that one, huh? So I guess one of the questions I would have is I love bell peppers and when I cook it. So
too.
Is the green better than the red and the yellow, or is it just
they're all
about
good.
the same?
Yep,
Okay,
they're all really
because we do bell peppers, purple onions, and then of course all the greenery stuff when we're doing our meals. So
exactly. Yep.
Okay.
Very, very healthy.
See, just watching the show, you get smarter and smarter by the minute. So I like that.
Yeah. So, and actually, I wanted to talk about the point of when I first started writing my book. I actually met a homeopathic physician named Dr. Charlie Ware in Florida. And the great thing about that is he has a product called Even Flow that helps with sickle cell. And when I found this out, I was so excited because at that point, I was blogging my story and talking to all these people in Africa and Canada and the UK and the Caribbean, just all over the world. But Africa really took my heart because there's millions of people suffering and dying there.
Wow.
Especially, just give you a sense of the statistics. In Nigeria alone, there's 5 million people with sickle cell disease. And over 300,000 babies die each year in Nigeria. So when I met Dr. Ware and saw that he had a product, I was so excited because I knew that we could take this to Africa and help so many people.
Right. So now what was it called again?
The product is called Even Flow.
Even Flow. And what
Not
is
the
it?
baby stuff.
Infomeal?
But it's actually a natural supplement. It's an herbal supplement that consists of 11 herbs, enzymes, minerals, and vitamins, all in one capsule.
Wow.
Now, the good thing about herbs is it's just not for one thing. If you Google research any herbal supplement, you're always going to find there are several different health benefits. So, Even Flow helps with the root cause in sickle cell because it helps keeps the body producing red blood cells on a consistent basis. But it also helps with people that suffers from anemia, hypertension, arthritis, general weakness, muscle and joint pain, headaches, PMS. I know a lot of times when I'm cramping really bad, I can take Even Flow and it helps tremendously.
So it's almost like a vitamin supplement as well then, huh?
Exactly, yeah.
Wow. So if you happen to go and have a bad diet day or a couple of days, the Even Flow kind of balance it out?
Yeah, it can, yeah, because it also has inflammatory benefits in there as well.
So for those of us who have poor diets, that's a nice way to transition from a unhealthy diet to a more healthy diet. Just start taking some Even Flow, and I'm sure it's on your website, right?
Yes, it is.
So that's now we can slowly transition instead of trying to do it cold turkey because not everybody enjoyed the kale, the beets, But I guess if you start substituting the Even Flow, even if they don't have sickle cell, it's a good.
It is a great nutritional supplement for anybody to take.
But if you have a child out there with sickle cell, it's ideal.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So Aiden's been taking the Even Flow now for over 5 years now, and no crises.
Wow. Amazing, amazing.
Yes.
But this time to go by so fast. We're about to take another break. And when they come back, I may have to hit you with a few questions about some of the superfoods that I eat, and maybe those who out there watching can kind of go along with it too.
Okay.
You're watching DFTV Network, and you're watching
Everything Health with Tamika.
We'll be right back.
Welcome back. You're watching DFTV Network, and you're here with my new show, Everything Health with Tamika, and my special guest, Mike.
I feel like a student in class. Before we left, we was talking about superfood, and even though I'm not a big kale eater, so a good spinach, kale salad with the tomatoes and all that stuff.
Yes.
That's not a bad lunch deal, huh? Throw a little tuna fish in there.
Yes, it'll be great. And I don't know, there's several salad places here as well. You can get some really, really, really great ideas. You go in there, they have everything that you could ever think of, and I pile mine up. I get everything.
Wow.
It's very amazing.
Wow. But I would think in the countries like Africa and those places that has, I guess, more vegetation, they wouldn't have this issue. But you said those are some of the main places, correct?
Yeah, and the thing about it is, you know, sickle cell, it affects people. Sometimes you can still eat the right things, but you may not be getting enough of it. If this makes sense, just think of a person that has cancer and they're in stage 3 or 4. Sometimes eating your nutrition is probably not enough, although that's why people say always use supplements, because although you may need 5 pounds of kale, 5 pounds of spinach, 5 pounds of broccoli, 5 pounds of Brussels, you know, you're not going to eat all that, but you do probably need the nutrition from that much produce. So I think in Africa, although they do have great African staple foods, the sickle cell is just so severe. The blood sickles so much, you know, they're just not getting enough that they need. So in times of that, you need to supplement.
You know, and the great thing I love about this particular show is none of these things give us side effects.
Correct.
Compared to the Western medicine. Now, we know in severe cases, they have their benefits. However,
Yes,
for a day-to-day diet,
Exactly.
this is why I said I'm learning so much on this show, because, you know, if I get a pain, I may pop an Advil or a Tylenol, but like you said, it's eating up your liver.
Yeah.
Whereas I think before the show, you was mentioning certain oils and things heal from pain as well. And what I love about it is, even though I don't have sickle cell, just think about the healthy diet, you know, that you're giving me, that may prevent, like you said, this herb may prevent something else that may comes up when you get over that 50 mark, which I'm already over that. So this has been very, very enlightening. What's some other superfoods that our viewers should know about?
Beets. Beets are really, really great. Beets help build the blood. I mean, I know you don't like beets, but they are super, super healthy for you. But anything leafy green vegetable, I mean, anything leafy green, it's full of chlorophyll, and it just helps that blood flow going, and it helps build red blood cells.
Now, there's some places around town that's kind of like little mint plants or leafy spice plants. Are those good also? Oh
yeah, mint leaves are amazing, great for the digestive. Ginger is good for the digestive as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you can't go wrong by having a home garden then, huh?
Oh, yes. Everybody should have a home garden with vegetables and also herbs.
I guess I got a new hobby to do now, huh? So, you know, looking at this, you know, it's been very enlightening. We didn't talk a lot about the Western medication, but I think everyone knows for every one thing that it helps, there's like 9 side effects.
Exactly. Right.
So with that being said, the sickle cell or the human diet within itself, basically, as you said, goes back to God's medicine cabinet.
Exactly.
You know,
definitely.
because they, like you said last show, they go to God's medicine cabinet
to make their drug. Exactly. Yep. So you know there's power in the plant. But, you know, it was something amazing happened last year. I had the opportunity to actually go to Africa. I went to Kenya, and Healing Blends Global is a company that I'm a part of. I'm a project manager, and our main focus is to help people with chronic illnesses, but to help them and educate them how to heal holistically by using food and other herbs and things of that nature. So I had the opportunity to go to Kenya and speak in 6 different cities.
Wow, how was that?
Educating people on sickle cell and proper nutrition. It was amazing. It was truly, truly amazing. The people were so nice, so humble. They really learned a lot, because in Africa, it's a little different because they've been taught differently. Just some parts of Africa, they've been taught to think that sickle cell is actually of a demonic spirit or it's evil, you know, because, you know, in Africa is so much death, you know, it's just millions on top of millions. So when you see these children just passing away and dying, you know, you just start thinking, you know, why is this happening? But once I heard that in all my speeches, I started letting people know that no, it's not. It is just a blood cell it's just a blood disease that affects the red blood cells like any other blood disease.
Wow.
And just getting that education out there, that knowledge to people so they can, really understand. And also another thing, in certain parts of Africa, the husbands would think it's the wife's fault when a baby's born with sickle cell. So I had to start educating on no, when a baby's born, baby takes one gene from the mother, one gene from the father. But overall, it was just a blessing to bring the education on even flow and to let these people know that you don't have to suffer. Can you imagine having a child with a fatal blood disease and you watch your child suffer year after year and then you finally find something that's natural? That can save
only
your
a
child's
parent
life.
can appreciate that.
Oh my gosh, it's
only
just
a parent can
amazing.
appreciate that.
Yes.
And I can only imagine how once they understood what you were saying,
Yes.
that's not something demonic or voodoo, but
Right.
instead a true natural illness
Right.
that can be treated.
Yeah, can be treated.
Wow, you was
Naturally.
probably new best friends over there, huh?
Oh gosh, it was great. It was great.
Wow. So I think, the good thing about, this show that I enjoyed most was, even though it was short, it was brief, we learned about superfoods that we should include in our diets. And what was it, even flow?
Yep, even flow.
Even flow, as well as all this information we're talking about is on her website. And what is it again?
My website is www.ssnaturalhealing.com.
And I highly encourage you guys, call her, text her, email her, get a consultation so that you can sit down like I'm enjoying it and just get a wealth of knowledge, because everything we named did not have a side effect.
Exactly.
At all.
Exactly.
So the Westerners have its advantage of medication, but I think God's Medicine Academy is superseded by tenfold.
Exactly. So thank you all so much for joining the show, and please stick around. I'm going to share some amazing pictures from my trip in Africa. Just want to share with you all. It was a most amazing experience ever, and please join us again next week, same time, same place, and let's get healthy for a healthier tomorrow.